in this room.
That there are some good examples. You mentioned that nobody is doing it. There are people already working, doing this. Like for example, I mean, it's more on the contract.
Construction companies are doing it.
Yeah, contractors are doing it. Again, limited to only a handful of them. We'd like to see a lot more happening. With developers, again, it's limited to a handful. Otherwise, you know, education, training, skills development is lower on the agenda. Land finance will always be higher. That's all right. But having said that, there are some good examples. L&T is a very good example. Absolutely. They invest a significant amount of money. They're working with us on training their staff for a one-year program, which is completely sponsored by L&T on a number of different areas, project management, quantity surveying, and the like. So there are good examples, and I guess it's for the industry to kind of come and wholeheartedly support more skills development initiatives.
Rutan, you want to mention?
I just wanted to say, I agree with you, Anshuman, and there's a need for an industry-wide platform to think about skill building, especially in the people who are going to come in the officer grade. But having said that, our labor productivity in construction is probably the lowest in the world. It is even below the Indian government standards, which itself is a little lower than other countries nearby. I think that the kind of what we have done in Tata Housing is over the last 3 years, we have trained over 15,000 workers, and none of them, or many of them don't only stay back with us. We have trained them, we have given them a certificate and upskilled them, and they can go and join any other developer or any other contracting company, and they can do it. Our idea is by 2020, we would, on our own and funded by ourselves without going to the government, train and develop about 1 lakh youth in India on that. And that we have gone out and made a comment, and everybody in the organization is geared towards doing that. But having said that, that is only one part of the problem. The other part of the problem is what we rightly talked about, is about project management, about customer centricity, about new ways of looking at innovation and doing things. I think that is singularly missing in the industry, and a new talent, women coming in is a very big, I think it's much required. I mean, it's embarrassing, getting to be embarrassing. We were in Istanbul in a room full of 1,100 developers. There were not more than 5 women in the room, and one of them was from RICS. So I didn't know, I mean, where is gender diversity? I mean, so it's very embarrassing and quite, I think, quite short-sighted.
Other area which has been talked about a lot is smart cities, and has been talked to death. I just wanted a view. What do you feel on the smart city? Do you think that there is, what's going to happen? I mean, we've been hearing about it. What is your feel on the ground in smart cities? Yes,
I mean, not to go into the details, but what is amazing for me is just about a year ago, here comes a leader who says, we want 100 smart cities. No one knows what a smart city is. No one knows if it's been done. No one knows what it's all about. But suddenly, just the power of vision, just the power of a thought, the power of the need, it gets everyone scrambling to say, let's figure out how to do this. And I think people are finding different ways, organic ways, inorganic ways of coming to a solution on that vision. And I think all of it's great, because the need is so important, and the need is so compelling that, to me, it really doesn't matter how you come at it, as long as you come at it some way. And it just amazes me how this is the power of India, which is, if there's a genuine thought, there are enough smart people and hardworking people here who will find a solution just to that thought.
Just to conclude, the theme of this conference was stepping up the game in the real estate industry. So I would like to start with you, Yash. Just 2 things which you feel will step up the game in the real estate industry. Just 2 points.
Developers doing the right things to address some of the trust deficit that is there in the consumer's mind. The second thing would be a little bit more, some of these facilitating things like REITs and all will really help us take the market to a different level.
Anuj?
I think the 2 things, if you ask me, Anshuman, I would say is transparency in dealings, because this market really requires. And the second I would say is corporate governance internally within the setup.
For Tata Housing, I think that what we are betting very big on in the short term, and I think that this is going to be the real big play. One is on the digitization and the e-commerce portal, which I believe that will be a game changer, as a large number of Indians do come on e-commerce and cut out the intermediary, and you can buy directly. And the second has been our push on affordable housing. I think that I really think that when a large number of Indians don't have access to a good quality house, maybe getting a good quality house at a reasonable ticket size is the need of the market, and irrespective of the economy and the sentiments there, this this will happen with good access and good infrastructure facilities. These townships are the way I think residential real estate will grow in the near future.
Great, Rajiv.
I think I'd say that number one is execution. I think India needs to step up execution capacities. Number two, because this sector is so heavily interacting with the authorities, I think we need to watch out that yes, on the one hand, there can be good initiatives.
Sean, I think you mentioned few, but any two areas you think which will step up the game in India?
I actually think that this is a bit of a demonstration, I think, of what would step up the game. And it comes back to what I see in other places where I'd like to see a much stronger sort of unified voice of all the ecosystem within the market, giving government greater clarity about what it should do to change this, maybe rather than waiting it for the other way around. And I think there's a real desire to do that, and if RICS could help facilitate that voice and bring some independence into that thinking, I think that would really change the game. Because often governments are desperate to know the answers for themselves. They know the vision, they know the aim, they may implement the wrong thing. And I think that's about, you know, the profession and the industry coming together. And I think that probably the other piece is a real shared understanding of expected ethical behaviour in the system and calling people out and getting people out who aren't doing that.
Great, thank you. Sachin, you did give a wish list of 10 in the morning, the top 2 of the 10.
I think improving the delivery capabilities of the of companies and ensuring that there is a focus on skills and technology. So that's my point number one. And the second one would be really getting the price point right in terms of the product offering, focusing more on affordable, I think would be fairly critical.
Great. Thank you. Thank you all the panelists.